Hello, here's the news at this hour on TSTV. I am Mobola Badekala. Here are some major headlines. Oyo NMA warns and SARS protesters of COVID-19 second wave. Federal government begins 75 billion naira support fund disbursement this week. Guinea's opposition leader declares election win, and in the world of sports, Guardiola challenges Aguero to earn new Manchester City deal. And now, the news in details. The Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) Oyo State branch has urged the NSAS protesters to adhere to COVID-19 safety protocols to avoid a second wave of the pandemic. Dr. Ayotunde Fashola made the call in Ibadan, the state capital, on Monday on the sidelines of a news conference to mark the 2020 Physician Week. Fashola said that the association, which had always wanted the country to progress and develop in all areas, would not want a resurgence of the coronavirus pandemic. He therefore urged the NSAS protesters to conduct themselves in a way that would not jeopardize their health, especially the spread of COVID-19 in the country, adding that some countries had started experiencing a second wave of the pandemic, while some had already commenced a second lockdown. The Vice Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Air Force, Honorable Abbas Adigun, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to urgently set up a youth unemployment benefit fund as part of ways to assuage the NSAS protesters. Adigun, who represents Ibadan Northeast, Ibadan Southeast Federal Constituency, said such fund was not only long due but made expedient by the quality of demands coming from the youth currently engaged in the NSAS protest across the country. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) lawmaker suggested the initiative should be funded by about 2% of the proceeds accruing to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). The lawmaker, who made the suggestion in a statement made available to newsmen on Monday, said the tumult arising from the current nationwide protest, not just against the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) of the police unit, but also about the long years of decay which has left the youths neglected and uncared for by the government. The federal government will start paying grants to micro, small, and medium enterprises that are successful to partake in the 75 billion naira COVID-19 support schemes. On September 10, 2020, the federal government inaugurated two schemes to financially support about 1.7 million MSMEs across the country, with 75 billion naira, which are the National MSME Survival Fund and the Guaranteed Offtake Stimulus Scheme under the Nigeria Economic Sustainability Plan. The Special Assistant to the President on MSMEs, Office of the Vice President, who doubles as Project Coordinator Survival Fund Scheme, Tola Adekule told journalists in Abuja on Monday that payments to some beneficiaries of scheme would start this week. However, on the number of applicants for the payroll support, the presidential aide said they had about 432,000 businesses that had applied and has shortlisted less than 70,000 businesses that qualify and meet the requirements. President Muhammadu Buhari has on Monday reflected on the ongoing nationwide protest against police brutality by youths. He said the peaceful protest fell within the framework of fundamental human rights, adding that he was worried about some of the exceptions to the protest. He believed that as a father to this generation of youths, they must not be made to suffer from any form of police brutality. The president, who spoke during a meeting with the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dari, also appealed to the protesters to give the federal government time to address their demands. Dari, however, told State House correspondents in Abuja that President Muhammadu Buhari was more than determined to reform the police as demanded by the SARS SWAT protesters, and as appealed to the protesters to attach value to personal security. The news on T Solid will be back right after this.
The news so far.
Welcome back, and now to some foreign stories. Guinea's opposition leader Cellou Dalein Diallo has declared himself winner of Sunday's presidential election ahead of the official announcement of results. Mr. Diallo told journalists and his supporters that he had won the first round despite anomalies. The Electoral Commission said vote counting was still ongoing and it was the only body mandated to announce the winner. Mr. Diallo's supporters, who had taken to the streets to celebrate, were dispersed by the police, as Mr. Diallo later tweeted that 3 people had been killed and several others injured by the police. Guineans had protested for months following the decision of President Alpha Conde to run for a third term. However, results of the 10th election are expected by Wednesday, after which candidates have 8 days to appeal. Somali's Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Rabbal has retained key ministers in a new cabinet announced yesterday. The new cabinet includes a deputy prime minister and 26 ministers, including 4 women. Those retained are Deputy Prime Minister Kadir Mohamed Jalaid, Finance Minister Abdulrahman Douale Bele, Foreign Affairs Minister Ahmed Isse Awad, and Health Minister Fauzia Abikar Nur. Mr. Rabbal also announced 17 state ministers and 26 deputy ministers, adding that new cabinet will require approval from the parliament. Mr. Rabbal replaced former Prime Minister Hassan Ali Kaya, who was ousted in a no-confidence vote by the parliament on 25th of July. And now to the exciting world of sport. Derby County forward Wayne Rooney will have to self-isolate for 10 days after a friend who visited him at home on Thursday tested positive for COVID-19. The former England captain, who is 34, has confirmed he does not have the virus himself, but will still have to miss Derby's next 3 matches. Derby has, however, said Rooney must self-isolate until Thursday, 29th of October, in line with the United Kingdom government and EFL guidelines, which means that the former Everton and Manchester United player will be unavailable for Derby's championship fixtures against Huddersfield on Tuesday, East Midland rival Nottingham Forest at home on Friday, and for the visit of Cardiff City on Wednesday, 28th of October. Derby has, however, so far won just one of their first 5 championship fixtures this season, with Rooney scoring the winner at Norwich City on the 3rd of October. Pep Guardiola says Sergio Aguero must earn a new contract at Manchester City, even though he's the club's all-time record goal scorer. Aguero returned from a 4-month spell out with injury in Saturday's 1-0 win over Arsenal, has entered the last 12 months of his existing deal. The Argentina scored 254 goals for City and been a major part of 4 Premier League title triumphs, including his famous last gasp winner in 2012. However, Guardiola is also the final season of his deal, believes the 32-year-old needs to prove his fitness and form in the coming months. Aguero played a key role in City's goal against Arsenal, driving forward to feed Phil Foden, with Raheem Sterling finishing after Bernd Leno could only parry the midfielder's shot, and he was also involved in a moment of controversy in the second half when he put his arm on the shoulder of assistant referee Cian Marcy Ellis. And with that, we come to the end of the news. Here is a recap of the major headlines. Oyo NMA warns EndSARS protesters of COVID-19 second wave. Federal government begins 75 billion naira support fund disbursement this week. Guinea's opposition leader declares election win. In the world of sport, you heard Guardiola challenges Aguero to earn new Manchester City deal. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Hope Chijioke. I am Mobola Badekale. Good day and thank you for watching.